Jamaica is a fan favorite among cruisers, but in the summer of 2021, you will be able to sail from Jamaica. On this episode of Island Jumper Travel, I want to go through some of the lesser known things about Jamaica. For cruisers, most of the time the port of call will be Falmouth, Ocho Rios, or Montego Bay. Jamaica is the third largest island in the Caribbean, so keep that in mind when you're planning your excursions. It can take quite a bit of time to get from one end of the island to the other, so you want to be mindful of the excursions that you take on when you're especially need to be back on a cruise ship. Just a note that all these images were taken in the before times, so no one will be wearing masks. Number one, if you are going to be in Jamaica in the evening, through the evening time, there are two things that I would recommend that you do. One would be the Luminous Lagoon, and it has bioluminescent organisms that illuminate as they get agitated and as you swim through or as you canoe through or move through the water. Beautiful, especially on a new moon. The second thing that you might consider doing if you're in Jamaica for the evening, and you might be there, if you can get there like the day or two before your cruise begins, this would be an activity that you might be able to do, is to go to Rose Hall House. And it is allegedly haunted by Annie Palmer or Rosa Palmer, depending on who you hear the story from. So it is a really fun adventure. If you like ghost hunting, it's definitely something you should put on your bucket list when you're in Jamaica, especially if you're there overnight. Number two, the falls. There's lots of them, and two of the most popular ones are Dunn's Fall, and Blue Hole has a bunch of falls. So most of the time, most of the excursions, especially if you like book them out of the cruise ship, they'll take you to Dunn's Fall, and that's really nice, and it's definitely one of those things that you probably want to see for sure once. But if I had to choose between Dunn's Fall or Blue Hole, I would definitely pick Blue Hole for more activities. You can swim around, you can dive around. There are lots of people that will help you kind of keep you from face planting and kind of guide you along the various places that there are to like climb up and then go down the waterfalls on the water, kind of with the rapids of the water. So definitely bring some tip money for these guys, because they helped those of us in our party. We had a party of about 8 when we were in Blue Hole, and they definitely saved many of us from face planting in the rocks. So bring some tip money and appreciate those guys that help you out, and enjoy Blue Hole. There's Ocho Rios Bay, which will be really popular. There's lesser known James Bond Beach, which is where they filmed Dr. No, which is an older James Bond movie. And then there's Pleasure Cove, which is a little bit more secluded if you're looking for something not quite so in the way. Also, there's the 7 Mile Beach in Negril, and there's some beaches in Montego Bay, which like Doctor's Cove. And it will be very popular, though. It'll have a lot of restaurants and bars and vendors selling their wares, and it'll be pretty populated by the younger folks especially. So that'll be a lot more activities there, and the other ones will be a little bit more low key if you're looking, depending on what kind of day you're looking for on the beach. So I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to like my video, smash that thumbs up button, and also consider subscribing. I'm only going to put out a video about once a week, so it won't be too much of a burden for you to watch. And I will be going over some of the cruise favorites, ship reviews and ports of call reviews and tips and trips for cruising, because maybe that's going to happen again sometime. It's definitely happening outside of the U.S. come this summer. So back to the program. Number 4, food. So we ate a place called Scotchy's, and it was amazing. It had really, really good jerk chicken, and jerk chicken's like really popular in the area. Definitely want to try that if that's, if you're a meat eater. It is excellent. I did see a lot of locals there, and we got some video of them making the chicken. There's a dish called ackee and saltfish, and it will look like eggs and with some things in it like scrambled eggs. Don't be deceived. You'll be really surprised because it is a fruit or vegetable mixed up with the fish, and it's going to be very deceptive. And then of course there are beef patties. And so beef patty is like an empanada or like a really yummy hot pocket with like beef in it. And those are kind of traditional island foods. And you can get a lot of those from like vendors kind of on the side of the road that will have kind of a food truck kind of thing. And a lot of times they'll have like some chairs and stuff that you can sit and eat at. And that can be, there's a lot of really amazing food just kind of on the side of the road in Jamaica. So number 5 is Brae River. You can get you can have someone raft you on a bamboo raft down the river. It'll take a little bit of time. It'll be a really good opportunity for some amazing pictures, and you can also tend to get either someone that will serenade you or that will give you stories of Jamaica, and it's a very good time, and people really come back really happy that they did it. It's a really good way to kind of really feel immersed in the island. Number 6, of course, is the very popular zip lining. I first zip lined in the mountains, and we did it with kind of like a package deal. It was, we went to Dunn's Falls, then we went zip lining, and then when we had some catered in lunch and some wonderful food, some jerk chicken, the zip lining has really exploded since we did that many years ago. So if you're into that sort of thing, it's very safe. Usually they have helmets and lots of safety gear and lots of people to guide you along the way, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different places to do it. You don't necessarily have to go all the way over to the mountains anymore. You can, if you're staying near Ocho Rios and Montego Bay, there's some places that can go there to do that. So you might pick those up from your cruise lines. So ziplining is a lot of fun there. So number 7, surprisingly, is the Bob Marley Museum. So there's a lot of really rich history about Jamaica, and reggae music is not just about good music. It is about a movement, and it's really good stuff. And you'll find a lot of things you probably didn't know at the museum. I became kind of a Bob Marley fan after I had watched some Netflix documentary on Bob Marley, and really got into like what he was doing and the movement he was kind of with, and not to mention the really good music. So I would highly recommend, if you can get over to the Bob Marley Museum, it will be worth your time. And so I guess a little bonus is the Mystic Mountain. There's a company that has some spots on a bunch of the different islands now, and it is really good if you have people of a bunch of different ages. If you're on a multi-generational trip and you've got some older people, younger people, different ages people, because there's a lot of like activity things to do that you can do, like you can do some zip lining there, you can do some like obstacle courses, you can do the bobsledding. There was a movie about the Jamaican bobsledders, and some kind of a roller coaster kind of thing, and then you can do some like kind of low-key things. There's places to eat, a bar, really good views, great places to take pictures. So it's one of those kind of places that will have a little bit of things for everybody if everyone wants to stay together for a day on the island. So so one love, y'all. So live your truth and live well. Thank you.